In His Shadow by meniekeime. Chapter 2. Forehead Kisses and Sweaters. Harry's point of view, 5th year at Hogwarts. Hello, dear. I heard the head of my house, Professor Sprout, call me. I turn away from my homework and look at her. Yes, Professor, how can I help you? I replied, keeping my eyes lowered. I got a request from Professor Snape. One of his players is missing a Cuddy, and the Cuddy resigned from his post this year. You have been such a great Cuddy for Cedric. Maybe you could... Of course, Professor. That made me so happy. I loved Quidditch, even when I was just watching. And it would bring me a second chance of getting on my family's good side. Then it's settled. They have a game tomorrow, so make sure you're prepared. The next day, I was patiently waiting in front of the Slytherin changing room, together with some other omegas. But there were only 6 Cuddies and 7 players. When the game finished, 230 for Slytherin. We all rushed inside, each of us to an assigned player. And it was then that I realized Professor Sprout had never told me who mine was. Hey, little one, over here. I heard a male voice, an alpha with blonde hair, almost white, and gray eyes. He was taller than me. That wasn't hard. 155 centimeters isn't tall. He had a really dominant aura. Oh, he had to be my player. I immediately started to work, helping him out of his gear and putting away his broom so I could polish it later, when an arm stopped me. Hey, little one, not so fast. I'm Draco, and you are? My player said, Harry, just Harry. I looked shyly on the ground, not sure if I was allowed to look up. You can look at me, Harry, and you don't need to be so stressed. We have plenty of time, he explained, taking off his sweater and giving it to me. He started to talk with a dark-skinned man called Blaze, who was sharing his Cuddy with a beta called Goyle. I was not sure what to do with the sweater he gave me, but it gave me a safe feeling. So I just put it on and went on preparing his showering stall, folding his clothes, and so on. I was focused on the task that I didn't hear a shower stop and the players leave. Do you like my sweater, little one? I was startled, turning around and saw Draco standing there smirking. He had already put on his pants again, but was still missing a shirt. I turned deep red and hesitantly took off his sweater, excusing myself. There's nothing wrong with that. Here, you can have this one. When you put it in the laundry, it'll be returned to me, Draco told me, giving me his black sweater and made me wear it. It gave me the same safe feeling. I figured that it had to be a smell that made me so emotional. And you don't need to polish my broom each time. It's a rather expensive one, so it shouldn't give you much trouble, little Harry. Then something strange happened. He gave me a kiss on my forehead and cuddled me a little. I knew that Hufflepuff was a rather no-touchy house, but the other houses were so straightforward. Now, Harry, it seems you are finished for today. Mind coming for training on Saturday mornings? I started nodding quickly. Everything that would help me get out of Hufflepuff rooms would be perfect. Can I bring a friend with me? I asked, not wanting to leave Neville out of the fun. Of course, little Harry. You bring them if you want. Lastly, he nuzzled my neck and I could leave. Strange, those Slytherins. Sadly, my parents weren't really proud of me. I got a howler on Monday, screaming at me, accusing me of being with the enemy of our family. And my parents were disappointed in me. I ran back to my dorm rooms, and somehow Draco's sweater gave me comfort. And every time I put one of his sweaters in the wash, he would give me a new one after training or a game. I found out a lot about Draco. When his team lost, he liked to hug me and put his face in my neck. And he got that strange look when he saw me wearing his sweaters. And he was really a nice alpha, too. I got used to his dominant aura. To his touches and his forehead kisses, I liked it a lot. Also, Neville told me that he had found a mate already. He wasn't attending school anymore and lived outside of Britain and wasn't an alpha. They weren't mated yet, but on their way to. But I need to find an alpha for myself soon. My parents wouldn't accept anything less. And I was already on the bad side. Now that Voldemort was back, there was always stress, and my brother was preparing to fight the war that was coming. I was hoping I didn't have to fight. I was weak stupid, and unable to bring honor to my family. I was sure they would kick me out when I turned 17. I had practically lost my points for Hufflepuff when I was rejected from Cedric, our hero, and it seemed I wasn't allowed to get a Slytherin. Why had this all to be so complicated? Why couldn't my family accept me? Yes, because I'm an omega, small, weak, and useless. I was only spending their money and giving them nothing in return. I should be happy they put up with me so long. End of chapter 2.